Hello again, YouTube. Just wanted to do another quick garden video update on a few of the items that we have growing right now. Along the fence here we have a bitter melon plant. I'll show you one of these bitter melons here so you can see what it looks like. And it looks like a big wrinkly pickle looking thing. There's a smaller one all by itself out here. We let them get pretty big. My wife dries them and eats them, makes tea out of them. It's supposed to be really good for you. And so we're hoping to get healthy from those. This is our watermelon patch, hopefully soon to become a pumpkin patch. We have just a few little baby watermelons left. Looks like about 6 of them left in here. And we don't think they're going to continue to grow too much longer because of you can see all the vines here starting to dry up and everything. We've had like no rain for like a week and a half, it seems like, so we're having to water the garden today and yesterday to keep things growing nice. But these we don't really care too much more about. We're going to let those grow. Our grape bush over here, or grapevines, growing nice, starting to cling on to the fence. I have a couple of new corns popping up here. And this is that colorful ornamental corn, or I like to call it Indian corn. That's the way it was when I grew up. And we got 2 of those growing here. They were a little bit taller, but apparently some animal, maybe a deer, came over here and was eating the tops of them. So we'll have to see. We've got our purple sweet potatoes, just about ready to be harvested. You can see if you look at the leaves. A lot of holes in the leaves. That's because the bugs come and they just love the leaves, but so do deer. That's why we have to have the fence up, because the deer will come in here and eat the leaves. And we don't want them in the garden, we want them outside the garden. So I did put some sweet potato roots here that are close to the fence, so they'll try and stick their head through the fence and I can get some deer jerky that way. But we're going to be picking these probably within the next 2 weeks or so. My wife's going to be digging up some and seeing how they're doing. Remember, we have ones in the first 2 rows here are purple on the outside and white on the inside, and then the next 2 rows are purple on the outside and purple on the inside. They're a lot denser of a sweet potato yam type of a thing. Artichoke, kind of dying, kind of trying to bring it back. We'll see how that goes. We've got our onions. We cut off the tops of them and we chop them up, put them in the freezer. We also chop them up, or my wife dries them, and so we can have onion flakes, I guess it is. This is the inside of the garden looking along the bitter melon. We've got our eggplants growing here. You can see we actually have some eggplants on the vines here, or the bushes, whatever they are. We've got our leeks going nicely here. We have a hose because my wife's right now watering. Here is more leeks. Here's our beautiful bell pepper patch. We've got quite a few red ones on here that are growing, and they're just about ready. We've got some nice yellow ones on this particular bush. This bush here is also going to be some yellow ones. I see one in there. We're going to be picking some of these tonight. We've got more bell peppers. Got some nice colorful bell peppers over here. Nice red ones growing over here. We're going to be picking. Going to have some good ones. I have to just freeze them. Anaheim chilies. These things are just not stopping from producing. So we're going to let them keep growing. And they are growing and hanging down and pulling the tree down, unfortunately. And of course, more jalapenos. My ghost pepper plant, I just picked these. I picked the ghost peppers, I picked the habaneros that were ripe off of these. I picked all the Dragon Cayennes that were ready off of these ones. And I also picked the jalapenos that were of good size, just so that I could have something to trade with a local farmer. We did actually transplant our purple bell pepper plant over here so that it's getting sun. And we have some purple bell peppers growing. Really, really pretty. Can't wait to see those grow all the way up and to eat them. And we have a couple more late season bell peppers, and we're going to see how those grow over here. Everything's being blocked by these large plants of my wife's, so we had to bring them over here so they get sun. And hopefully that's going to make the difference that it needs. And then of course we have our perilla leaves, or sesame leaf. And these plants are getting really large. You can see one there, you can see one there. There's actually another one behind the bush over here. This is one. That one's there, and that one's there from a previous video. And that's pretty much where we're at. I mean, we've got our date tree growing out here, getting pretty tall. We've got a peach tree out here, and then outside the fence we've got 1 fig, 2 fig, and 3 fig trees growing outside, and they're looking pretty nice. And then we have this fig tree in here that my wife planted here. I'm a little worried about it because of the size that it's going to get. It's kind of close to the fence, so I'm kind of debating on what I'm going to end up doing. Is either having to trim it till it goes up past the top of the fence and then letting it hang over. But we wanted it at the back of the garden, if anything, so that it's not blocking or shading any of the other plants that we have growing in here. And then of course blueberries, blueberries, blueberries. But like I said, just want to do a quick update video, and I'll show you what we picked as well for the harvest for the day, and I'll attach it here. Our harvest pick for the day, we picked some ghost peppers, actually quite a bit of them. We've got some Serrano peppers, we've got some Dragon Cayenne peppers, we've got some Habaneros, and then over here we have our jalapenos. And I know that these and these look the same, but they are actually different. Some people can tell, some people can't. If you look at a jalapeno, it's kind of rounded on the bottom, where a Serrano pepper has more of a point to it. Now of course we do have some that do get kind of round, but they still do have a point to it. It looks kind of round, but it is that way. But just wanted to kind of show you what we got here. We probably got about 75 ghost peppers, and we're going to be trading these with our local fruit market for some other vegetables or fruit that we're not currently growing. We did that with our jalapenos last week, and we traded them about 5 pounds of jalapenos for about 5 pounds of potatoes, which may or may not seem good, like a good deal, but we had way too many jalapenos and we need some potatoes, so it was all good. The barter system is a good thing, and that way they'll want to exchange and trade with us again later. Some of the other peppers we're probably just going to dry, the Dragon Cayennes and the Habaneros, and we're making hot pepper flakes, so you can sprinkle it on pizzas and stuff like that, kind of a thing. So that's how we're going to be using up this particular batch of stuff. We're also going to be picking some bell peppers, and I'll show you those when we get them. Okay, YouTube, wanted to show you the bell peppers that we picked today. We have to pick them when they still have a little bit of green on them, and then they finish ripening inside the house here, because if not, we will get ones like this where the bugs start to drill into them and stuff and peck at them. So we get them when they're starting to turn nice, like this one here is a really nice one, or we pick them when they still have one of these. This is one of those that is turning into a chocolate one, but we have, like I said, we have to pick them early before the bugs get to them. Another nice one that's changing colors, and they'll finish over the next couple days turning colors, and we'll probably end up trading these off to the local market as well for other stuff. Hope you enjoy. Talk to you later.